Hello everyone, I'm Susan Yiqing Feng, Director Program at China Institute. Welcome. China Institute, we are going to celebrate 100 years next year. Yes, we are almost 100 years old. For the past 100 years, we do a lot of programs like today's program to promote, to help the two great nations to understand each other, to help American public to understand China better. And today's program is very special. I'm sure everyone is aware that the profound change of U.S.-China relations. So what Americans, young people, to see this landscape change, and how does that perspective align with the most respect China had in America? So tonight, this program brings together a rising voice of American youth and very thoughtful expert, David Firestein, CEO and President of George H.W. Bush on U.S.-China relations. So hopefully we will have a better and clear understanding of the picture of U.S.-China relations. So first, let me introduce Eliana Firestein and Sienna. They both from Texas. And one is a seventh graders, and another one is 11-year-old. They will tell their finding, their survey about their view of U.S.-China relations. Please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Eliana Firestein, and standing to my right here is a girl named Sienna Howard, who will be speaking here in just a few minutes. First, I would like to thank the China Institute in America, to Miss Susan, and to all of you for making it possible and giving us the opportunity to be here and speak with you tonight. I'm very delighted and honored to be here with you all. Before I get into my remarks about U.S.-China relations, I would like to give myself a little bit of an introduction. Like I said, my name is Eliana Firestein. I'm in 7th grade. I'm at Lake Travis Middle School. I'm 12 years old. I do UIL Modern Oratory for my school. Some hobbies and sports that interest me include gymnastics, equestrian, cross-country, and track and field. And I love doing public speaking on U.S.-China relations and trade and tariffs. Some of y'all might be wondering how I got interested in China and the U.S.-China relations, and that was mainly through my dad. My dad works for an organization called the George H.W. Bush Foundation for U.S.-China Relations. Knowing that he works in this area, I was able to ask him a ton of questions that he was able to answer. My curiosity kept growing and growing until I can give speeches like this. I also heard a lot from the news. Now I'd like to talk about the importance of the U.S.-China relation. The U.S. and China are both very important countries. We are both big and powerful and have the two largest economies in the world. We are both nuclear weapon states, which means we do have the ability to destroy each other, but God forbid that doesn't happen. We both have a great influence in world affairs, and if the U.S. and China get along, the world will be a better place and it will create less problems. And if we don't get along, it will create some problems and it's not good. Now I'd like to talk about some challenges that we face throughout the U.S.-China relationship and in the U.S.-China relationship. China is in the headlines almost every day, often with the focus of on the disagreements and tension within the relationship. I'll give you an example. Even though this isn't a disagreement anymore, TikTok was in the headlines and in the news every day for quite some time. It is now resolved, but it was a disagreement. But some current disagreements that we have include trade and tariffs. Trump keeps putting tariffs on China. China does not like that. We have a technology competition through AI and computer science and computers. We heavily disagree, the US and China heavily disagree on Taiwan and more stuff like that, and etc. Now I'd like to talk about the stakeholders in the U.S.-China relationship. Who has the greatest stake in the U.S.-China relationship? That would be kids. This is because young people will be affected by the developments in the U.S.-China relationship for a much longer period of time than any grown-up peer. Will be affected for 50, 60, 70, or even 80 years. This is why Sienna and I decided to do some research to better understand how American kids think about China and the overall U.S.-China relationship. I'd like to now explain the research project and what we did. Over the last few weeks, Sienna and I surveyed several dozen young people in our schools and in our community to find out what they really thought and knew about the U.S.-China relationship and China in general. We focused on tweens ages 9 through 14. This wasn't a 5,000 person survey. It was not a 3,000 person survey. It was a 55 person survey. So we call it more of a focused group. We asked 6 questions, 2 open-ended and 4 multiple choice. We then analyzed the results. Sienna will now present our research findings, and after she has finished her presentation, I will come back and share our recommendations and concluding thoughts. Sienna, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Eliana. Hi, my name is Sienna Howard. I'm from Austin, Texas. I am 10 years old and 5th grade. I am president of my school student council. I speak English and Spanish. And some of my interests are gymnastics, horseback riding, and ballet. As Eliana said, I'm going to review the data that we collected from the survey. The first question is, when you think of China, what are the first 3 words that come to your mind? We had some positive feedback, negative feedback, and some neutral feedback. Some of the positive feedback is creative, smart, pretty. Some of the negative feedback was scary, fierce, World War. And World War really popped out to me because considering our size and power, if we ever do go to war, it could potentially lead to World War. Oh, sorry. Some of the neutral feedback was food, Great Wall, dragons. And since so many students were neutral about the U.S.-China relationship, we wanted to see how much they actually knew. So our next question is, can you name the first 3 facts you know about China? Most common themes mentioned were Great Wall 11 times, population 9 times, food 7 times, and government 5 times. Some of the direct quotes were, they have Chinese New Year, a lot of people wear red, they have a lot of factories, and I don't know. I don't know was a very common statement throughout the whole survey, and this shows a knowledge gap in the American youth about China. The next question is, how would you describe the relationship between the U.S. and China? This question had a lot of different answers, with the highest percentages being pretty good friendly, at about 33%. Almost all the respondents, about 62%, were in the middle, but 1/3 of the respondents said, I don't know, which was a very common response on the whole survey. The takeaway from this slide is most respondents were in the middle, but again, there were a lot of people who said, I don't know. This shows another knowledge gap among U.S. youth about China. Our next question is, how important is the U.S. and China cooperation given to their size and power? Like Eliana said, there were about 55 respondents to our survey, and 56% of them said that the U.S. and China cooperation is very important. This was a very interesting question because almost everyone, 95% of respondents, said that it was very important or somewhat important that the U.S. and China cooperate. This shows that the U.S. youth understand that this is an extremely important relationship. This was the most informative data on the whole survey. The takeaway from this slide is respondents felt like cooperation between the U.S. and China is very important. Young people need to focus on creating new ways to learn about each other and bridge the gap. Our next question is how important is it to visit each other's country? Again, this question had a lot of different responses. 2/3 of the respondents thought it was very important or somewhat important to visit each other's country. I think that this is important to visit each other's country so we can learn about each other and how they live their lives. The takeaway from this slide is visiting each other's country needs to be a priority so we can learn more about each other's country. Our next question is, how important is it for American youth to learn Chinese? I understand that many Chinese learn English at a very young age. In most areas areas of America, learning a second language is not prioritized. About 60% of respondents thought that learning Chinese is important, but 40% said that it was not important. The takeaway from this slide is learning Chinese seems to be a priority. Learning Chinese seems to be a priority for the majority of the respondents. The question is, do we make this more available? One way to make this more available is to offer Chinese language classes at a young age. In my preschool, they offered Chinese, but not all preschools are like that. Now I'd like to give it back to Eliana to discuss some recommendations and concluding thoughts. Thank you.
Great job, Sienna. That was truly amazing. Now that Sienna has laid out our key findings, I would like to share some of our recommendations that we found out based off of the survey. First, we recommend that American students begin learning about China earlier and more deeply. We think this because a lot of the respondents on the survey couldn't answer a simple question like, can you name 3 facts that you know about China? That is extremely concerning, knowing that China is a very important country and trade partner to us. Oh, my bad, guys. Second, we recommend that Chinese language learning opportunities be made available to American students earlier, with at least one elementary school, one middle school, and one high school offering Chinese language courses in every school district. In my school district, for example, LTISD, there is not a single public school that offers a Chinese language course. And there's only one public school in Austin that offers a Chinese language course. And fun fact, it's easier to learn a language when you're under the age of 7. It just becomes more difficult once you pass that age. We need to better understand each other and communicate. Third, we think it is very important for American young people to have more opportunities to visit each other's country. Like Sienna said, there's no substitute for actually spending time in a country and getting to know it, the people, the culture, the history, the food, and just so on firsthand. Fourth, we need to have far more American students, particularly at the college level, studying in China than we do today. Today, there are fewer than 1,000 American students studying in China, but there's around 300,000 Chinese students studying in America. We need to even out that ratio of 300 to 1. Chinese students are getting a way better understanding of what America is like, but we're not getting nearly a good better understanding of what China is like. Fifth, we need more, not fewer, sister city relationships and school to school relationships between the two countries. In my home state of Texas, we're going in the opposite direction. With the Texas legislature and governor they have banned all sister city relationships with China. This is exactly the opposite of what our country needs to be doing. And our last recommendation wasn't necessarily based off of the survey, but it's a good recommendation in general. We think our politicians need to be talking more positively about the U.S.-China relationship. Right now, they're talking so negatively about this relationship. I would say it's scaring off American students to go study in China, to learn about China, and learn the language of Chinese. And it's really affecting our relationship between the two countries in a very negative way. But one great example of a school that is really leading the way and way for our country in my home state of Texas is a public charter school that consists of 26,000 students called the International Leadership of Texas, or ILT. ILT immerses students in the study of English, Spanish, and yes, even Chinese, and does a fabulous job building an interest in China among its K-12 students and building a greater understanding of China. I hope we'll see more schools like ILT emerge across this country, not just in Texas. Lastly, I'd like to say a few concluding thoughts. China really matters to the United States, and it will matter more to American kids than to any other generation of Americans. Our research indicates that our young people don't know as much as they should about this country, which is so important to the United States. We have to do better. We have to make it where students can answer a simple question like, can you name 3 facts about this country, about China? I hope that our research project contributes in a small way to inspiring Americans and especially young people to deepen our understanding of China and do our part to sustain this incredibly important relationships, one of the most important. Thank you so much once again to the China Institute, to Miss Susan, to all of you. Thank you.